Hello, everybody, and welcome to At the Dish, the official Charlotte Knights podcast. I'm Tommy the V Viola, coming to you from Truist Field and back for episode number 2. And I'm so excited today as I sat down with Chicago White Sox infielder Danny Mendick. Danny was a guy that we saw here in 2019 with the Charlotte Knights and someone who had a tremendous year for the Knights last year. And so good that he was named to the all-decade team as a utility player. Just a really good season from him. And, you know, we've gotten a chance to see Danny now this year with the White Sox, whether he's playing or dancing for dubs. So we talked to him about those things and more. Here it is, Danny Mendick. Welcome back to At the Dish, the official Charlotte Knights podcast. Tommy the V of Viola. I'm so excited now to be joined by Danny Mendick, 2019 Charlotte Knight, also a member of the all-decade team. We'll talk to him about that, and a member of the Chicago White Sox. Danny, how are we doing?
Tommy, how are you, man? Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for your time today. All right, we're going to have some fun with you, Danny. We get right into it. It's called In the On Deck Circle. This is some rapid-fire questions. Are you ready?
All right, bring it.
All right, first one. This is a good one. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Fun, energetic, competitive.
There you go. We knew you were competitive, and you always like to have a lot of fun, so that's good.
Yeah.
Favorite non-baseball activity?
Golf.
I've heard you're an avid golfer, so that's
Golfer,
good. Okay.
Yeah. Love it. I mean, that's got to have a plan B, you know?
All right. You grew up in Rochester. I want to talk to you about that in a little bit, but you went to a lot of Rochester Red Wings games over the years. We'll talk about your grandfather in a little bit too. I know he's a 70-year season ticket holder. Who was your favorite Rochester Red Wings player of all time?
You know, it's funny. I probably have 2. You know, one of them was Justin Morneau.
Okay.
He was coming through Rochester. He wasn't there for a long time, but and then I had the pleasure to play with him, which was pretty fun. But then I like Trevor Plouffe.
Okay.
When we used to watch him, he was an infielder. He played short and stuff like that when he was there. I don't know. I loved watching him. I loved his name. I loved how he played. So
that's awesome. And obviously Rochester being a Minnesota Twins affiliate, years before that, they were an Orioles affiliate. So you remember more of them when they were the Twins affiliate, I'm sure.
Yeah, I wish I could say that, you know, I was there for Cal Ripken, but that was more my dad. He knew all about that.
Absolutely. Okay. One other minor league baseball question. You've had a chance, I'm sure, to wear many different uniforms in minor league baseball. And I'm not necessarily talking about the home uniform, but the more wacky type uniforms, the throwbacks. Or what was your favorite minor league baseball uniform you ever wore?
I'll tell you what, just being able to wear, you know, different uniforms was a lot of fun. You guys did a great job, you know, providing those uniforms for us. I really personally like the I think it was the Memorial Day one that had the flag, and then you could like dazzle it up with the cool socks. There was that one that was light blue. I can't remember what that one was for. I'll tell you what, there was a lot of them that it's fun. You put on a jersey like that. It's not, you know, it's technically your home jersey or whatnot, but spices it up, makes you want to feel, you know, play a little better.
Absolutely. And that's all minor league baseball is, to have some fun and go out there and different things. All right. Speaking of minor league baseball and bobbleheads, if they ever made a bobblehead of you, what pose would you be in?
What pose? I just go, yes. Here we go.
No, would you be hitting, fielding? Would you be dancing? What would you be doing?
Oh man, that's a great question. Probably like fielding, or maybe like if like arguing with the umpire, just like, nah, I'm just kidding. It'd be fielding.
Awesome. All right. Earlier this year, we saw you with a mustache. So it looks like you have a beard now.
Yeah.
You shaved the mustache. That to me was one of the best mustaches I've seen in a long time. Who has the best facial hair on the team now?
Oof, that's a good question. Yeah, that was top of the line. I'll tell you what, though, I'm going to have to do it again because that go around right there didn't have much hits in it. So that's why I got shaved. But I'll tell you what, Pito's got that little like long little flow going down here, and they put the rubber band on it. That's pretty good. Everyone else is kind of just clean beard, and so I'd have to go with Pito because he's a little unique.
Awesome. Yeah, he's had a great year, obviously, and has a great beard. All right, last thing on the in the on deck circle, dancing for dubs. Who has been the best guest dancer that you've had on the coaching staff? I know Don Cooper and Debo have also been a part of it. Who is better between the two of them?
Well, I'll tell you what. Coop took control of it. He said he was going to do it, and he had the dance planned, and he probably had the most like energy And then Debo he's the best. So he just went with the flow, and whatever song we ended up playing, he just busted some moves. So I can't even say, who'd be the best, but I'm glad they both got on there.
All right, that's awesome. We love watching it here in Charlotte. All right, let's go at the dish with Danny Mendick. Danny, let's go a little background on you, and let's have a little fun as well. Let's talk about yourself growing up in Rochester, New York. We know a lot of the stories of you growing up in Rochester and being a baseball fan, and really it started with your family and your grandfather, a 70-year season ticket holder. We know your dad and your family have taken you to games over the years. Obviously, when you got a chance to go back there last year as a member of the Charlotte Knights, and here you are playing in Rochester with a number of family and friends out there, I'm sure there were butterflies. I'm sure you were nervous. Take me back to that time.
It was fun. It was, we look at the schedule and you say, all right, we're going to Rochester this day. And it finally came up on us, and it happened. And so that first day when we were playing, and, I'm in there and I'm in the locker room, and I was nervous because, normally you're playing in front of a lot of people and you don't know the people. So it's like, okay, it's a little different, to be honest. It's awesome. The energy's there. And yeah, you get butterflies for that too. But when you're playing in front of all the people that you love and care about, and everyone's in, the same spot and whatnot, it's just, it was a surreal atmosphere. And I'm glad I got to do it.
I know it must have been a fun time for you, and being a chance to play there in a place that you grew up watching. Was that how you had your first love of baseball, being that you were able to go to those games as a kid and really get to learn the game a little bit?
I think that solidified it. It was more of, I loved, when I was a kid, I just loved playing sports and being outside. I was always, you could ask my mom to this day, but it was always a problem trying to get me to do homework. And it wasn't because I didn't like school. It was just because I wanted to be outside and wanted to do different stuff. I used to bounce a baseball off a garage door and try to field it all day and just stuff like that. And then the buddies would come over and we'd play in the front yard. And it was just that developed a love of it. And then going to the Red Wings games was like, all right, I want to do this. I want to be able to play, put on a jersey and play in front of thousands of people. So yeah, the Red Wings games definitely helped, but it was always just backyard, front yard, wherever I could play, trying to get out there and enjoy it.
Yeah, and obviously, you talked about the competitive nature, and certainly what I would say from one of those words would be hard working. We saw how hard you worked last year, and obviously, if you know your story, I mean, you it seems like you've always worked hard. I mean, whether it was in high school and coming out of high school, right? You didn't have any offers. You go to Monroe County Community College, and you work hard there, I'm sure.
Yep.
And it gives you an opportunity to go to UMass Lowell. And, right at that time, they became a D1 school. So I'm sure that was a big part of going there. But and then when you're drafted in the 22nd round, it seems like there's a lot of different things for you that you had to do to get to that point. But a lot of it goes back to hard work, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just, it's consistency. It's trying to stay positive, even in a negative sometimes environment. I've always said this, but my route seems like it's kind of been like I was swimming upstream. It was always against the current. Kind of had things, when you get to the major leagues, it's all glorified and it's great. But, when I'm grinding through the minor leagues, and 22nd round is a little different. So it's been really good. It's kind of molded me to where I am today. And to be honest, I wanted to look back at it. I said this when I got drafted, but, I'm going to give it everything I got so that at the end of the day, I can go to bed at night knowing, all right, well, I gave 110% or whatever, and I didn't make it, but I'm at least going to give it everything that I got.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you talk about the minor leagues and the different teams that you played with coming through this organization. 2016, I'll take you back to a time in July where I think it was 7 teams in 20 days where you went back and forth. We remember you coming here to Charlotte. It was Charlotte to Winston-Salem, and Winston-Salem to Charlotte to Kannapolis. It wasn't flying, so you didn't get any frequent flyer miles, but it was driving, I'm sure. What was that time like for you?
That was pretty hectic. I remember my parents came to when we played on the 4th of July in Charlotte, and I was basically living out of my car. I mean, to an extent, I had all my stuff in my car, and I was going from hotel to hotel. And my dad, I opened up the back of the trunk and like I had everything kind of like neatly, like all the suitcases were open. I had my golf clubs back there, and then like I had the suitcases open, and like all the clothes were just like neatly pointed there. So it was like, all right, what do I need for today? I'll take this, and then I would go up to the hotel room. But no, it was good. Like I said, it's one of those things where it molds you. And in the end of the day, when guys have to encounter different circumstances that are sometimes hard, I've kind of grinded through that. I've been through that. So I know how to handle it mentally.
Yeah. And does that make you maybe a better player or a better person, knowing that you had to go through those different things?
Absolutely. Sometimes it's when people have easy routes, it can be easy to let negatives affect you. And it's not the type of person I am. That's not the type of person that I want to be. So it definitely helped mold me.
I want to ask you about two people in this organization, to me, that I would think of that probably have helped you a little bit. One of them was your manager, Willie Harris, who certainly carved out a great role for himself, 12 years in the majors, and was a key part of the 2005 White Sox, and, a guy that, played different positions. He was your manager back in 2017. What did you learn anything from Willie?
At a time in my career in, 17, when I started to become a starter regularly, and I remember in the beginning of the year, he was like, didn't really have high hopes, and I didn't really know him too well. And then we started to play, and we were in Salem, Virginia, and I went off that series. And I was doing well in the beginning, and then I went off. And I remember he came up to me and he goes, "I didn't think boys from New York could play." And then ever since that, he just would give me tips, and it would just be like, Willie was one of those guys that is in the same position as I am, or was, and he knew how it worked. So he would always say, he said, "Man, you got to play with your chip on your shoulder, because nothing's going to be handed to you. Nothing ever is going to be handed to you." So, and that's the way I looked at it. And throughout the course of the year, if something happened, he'd be like, "Man," he's like, "don't let that get to you." He goes, "Just keep playing the course." And so, I'm super thankful for him. Gotta reach out to him. I haven't talked to him in a little bit, but just a great guy.
He ever tell you the time he scored the winning run in Game 4, 2005?
No, but I bet if I talked to him now about it, he would definitely let me know.
All right, and then one other guy I want to ask you about. He's a coach now with the White Sox, and that's Super Joe McEwen, another guy who, certainly Super Joe. We know him from his days as a player, but carved out a nice role for himself as a utility player. You guys talk together a lot about your role with the White Sox?
Yeah, Super Joe is a great guy, and it seems like he's always on my side, and he's very, very willing to help me. Knows how it is, knows how the game's played. Like you said, he's been there, he's done it. So, when you've been there and you've done it, and you got guys that are doing it behind you, it's easy to help guys like that. So he's always got different things to say, and they're always very impactful, and when to keep your head up and when to focus on certain things and whatnot. So, it's great to have guys around like that, because for me, they help, and I like to learn. So it's great to have guys that have, great words of wisdom.
No, that's awesome. And I'm sure he's been a great guy. He was a manager in Charlotte a number of years back. Okay. Last thing at the dish. I want to ask you about the Dancing for Dubs, obviously. Tell me how it started, and then tell me, I know you have the cleats and you're doing the giveaway and a chance to raise some money for charity. So tell me a little bit about that and the whole Dancing for Dubs.
Yeah, so Dancing for Dubs started, we were in Cleveland, and with the coronavirus, they had everyone split up in locker rooms. So there was the main locker room, and not everyone could fit in there. So then me, Cease, and Collins were in this kitchen off the corner, and it was just us three. And we brought our own little speaker in there, and after the game, we were jamming out. We were just about to go to Kansas City, and Cease took a video of me and Collins dancing. And we threw it up on Instagram and social media, and hashtagged it Dancing for Dubs, and people just loved it. So, we kind of went off with it, kind of had, some fun with it, and we're doing it. And then, unfortunately, Zach got optioned, and I tried to keep it going. I still try to keep it going. It's a little harder now, but I'm going to, especially now that we just clinched the playoff spot, I'm going to try to enjoy it. And the giveaway, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to try to do this thing where people are going to buy a shirt that I make that's, supporting this charity. It has my logo on it. There's a local charity in Chicago. This lady basically took in young kids, and she still does, that are in tough situations south side of Chicago. So want to support that. And it's not about me making money. I want to help other people out. So that's what I'm gonna try to do with these shoes.
Yeah, and we saw it's the 22nd round brand, right? So tell me, how can they get more information about that if somebody's interested?
I have an Instagram page. It's called 22nd round. And then it'll take you to my website. I'm still kind of in the process of getting more apparel. This off season is going to be where I'm going to get all the apparel out and have a store and stuff like that. But soon I'll have the t-shirt up, and then once you buy the t-shirt, you'll be in the giveaway, and then I'll end up picking someone who bought a t-shirt. And I wanted to create a brand that I liked, and it was something that I would wear and that people could, wear themselves. And like I said, it's not about me making money. It's about, I want to give back to the community and feel like this is a good way for me to do it.
Well, that's awesome. We certainly appreciate that, and we appreciate your time that you spend in the Charlotte community. We know you helped out here quite a bit when you were here as well. All right, it's time for heading home. This is the last question of the show, and I do this with everybody. Danny, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
It was, don't try to prove the haters wrong. Try to prove the people that love you right. It's one of those things that kind of hit home. You sit there and you think, man, you're right. You're not trying. Who cares about people that hate you and hate the way you play? And why are you trying to prove them right? You got all these people that love and support you, your family, your friends, and whatnot. Try to prove them right. And it's kind of the way that I want to live and play this game, just to prove all the people that love me that, that they know that I'm doing everything I can for them.
That's awesome. And Danny, we really appreciate your time today. We really, we enjoyed having you here in Charlotte. We're so happy for everything that's been going on for you this year. So happy for the White Sox. Congratulations on clinching the playoffs and continue everything this year. And it's been exciting to watch from afar. And we're so happy for the organization. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you very much. Love Charlotte.
Awesome. There he is, Danny Mendick. Thank you so much, Danny. Take care now.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
And thanks again to this week's guest, Danny Mendick. Really good stuff there from Danny. And, I always appreciated Danny's time last year in Charlotte, whether it was on the field, off the field, in the community. Danny, just a great guy. And we're so happy that he's done so well this year. And we'll continue to look at him and everything that the White Sox accomplish here as the month of September comes to a close and into the postseason. So we're excited for the White Sox, excited for Danny. And thank you for joining me on episode number 2 of At the Dish. We'll see you next week.